Adam from Maniacal Labs here. So this back here is our Replicator 2 from MakerBot. We've had it for about 4 years now. We do a lot of 3D printing on various projects, all of the LED displays and the wild maniacal display we did a few years back had I think 175 3D printed parts in it. Use it here and there for everything. It's a big part of our process. Not really products that we release, but for any builds that we do, it's absolutely invaluable. And this has been complete workhorse for the last 4 years. But a lot has changed in those 4 years. It was about 8 years ago now. It'll be 8 years ago on October 31st, I believe, that the Stratasys patent for FDM style printing expired. And that's allowed the rapid advancement of all of these printers. So just in the last 4.5 years that we've had this, a ton of new features have been made available. At the time, this was about a $2,000 printer. It was probably one of the best ones you could get, all metal construction, whereas everything else was like laser cut wood and stuff. It wasn't quite as sturdy and good to go. And it's time for an upgrade, basically. So this has only got single extrusion. It's got a 6.7, 6.9 liter build volume. That's about 6 by 6 by 11 inches, somewhere around there. And there's a lot new features now on this type of printer that I want to have. And today's my birthday, so this is actually completely coincidental, but something else arrived. Well, yesterday, but still, happy birthday to me. And I'll get that right now. Yep, giant crate. So this bad boy is a little birthday present to myself, upgrade from the MakerBot, which, don't get me wrong, is still a great printer. We still do a lot of good stuff with it. But this is what 4 years will get you in advancements. This printer basically costs actually less by a few $100s than what that Replicator 2 did. And this is a FormBot T-Rex 2 Plus. Just wait 1 second. So I just wanted to note before we get any further in this, that this is a long video. I go through the full unboxing and assembly, and I admit, I don't know what I'm doing going into this. So, if you just got your own one of these printers, then first, congratulations, that's awesome. And secondly, you'll get to see what I screwed up so that you don't. For other support, definitely be sure to check the link in the description for the Facebook FormBot user group. They're amazing. I asked a ton of questions before I even got the printer. They put up with all of that, and that really set me on the right path. Yeah, I did make a few mistakes, but that's okay. I got it working. So if that's what you're looking for, awesome. Continue on. If you're looking for my thoughts, or prints, or mods, or anything else regarding this printer, I assure you that's coming soon. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll get to see that in the very near future. Thanks. And now for the rest of the video. One of the latest models from them, and it has dual independent extrusion. It's got a laser engraving option on it, all metal hot end option, and best of all, whereas that MakerBot Replicator 2 was just sub 7 liters of build volume, this thing is 80. It is 16 by 16 by 20 inches. It's enormous, and I can't wait to print with it. So what I'm going to do, like I said, it's my birthday, so I'm going to unwrap this thing, and I can't wait. I've never seen this much packing tape on anything. It's kind of a little bit crazy, but we'll see what we can do to get this open. That's better. I'll be able to see things as I pull them out. So we got a ton of these little straps around here, so I can cut them off. Alright, top should hopefully come free now. Oh, moment of truth. Sweet. Look at that sweet extruded aluminum. Oh yeah. Alright, yeah, so we're looking we're looking pretty good here. Can't complain. Everything seems to be packed pretty nicely. Ooh, I really like this, I'm not sure you can see it up there. It's some really thick honeycomb corrugated cardboard instead of the sort of thinner stuff. Should hopefully keep it nice and safe. Alright, so there goes the foam. Let's see what this is. I assume this is the, oh, ooh, look, one of 2 accessory boxes. Okay, so I've been told that basically all of the instructions for this come on the SD card that comes with this, so we'll have to dig that out and find it. Alright, what's this? Okay, so this looks like, this right here looks like sort of some of the extras I've got. So this must be, yep. Ooh, wow. Okay. So we've got the super high temp extruder. This thing will go up to, I think it was 350 C as opposed to the normal about 260. So that'll be good for like nylon and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty nice. They've got, they've got some 3D printed parts on there. Some wires right there covering where the inlet for the filament is. I'll have to kind of move those over, but I think that'll be okay. Very, very cool. Oh, okay, so the cartridge on this comes in that way. I say they're kind of trying to do something similar to like the E3D Volcano. Give it a lot of space to heat, which is why they've got the cartridge mounted vertically like that. Nice little metal cover there. Very cool. Although, it does not look like this really provides any real part cooling that I can see. There's a pretty good Facebook group, which seems to have a lot of mods and whatnot for various things, so I'm probably going to be upgrading this before too long. Alright, so put that back. I have no idea what this is for. Just to get another power supply. So yeah, when you order one of these, the quick swap extruder or nozzles basically are really super cheap. It's like $8 for a full set of 0.25 all the way up to 0.1, or sorry, not 0.1, 1.0, so a full millimeter. So I just ordered like 3 full sets, which is why there's 3 full sets of spares, never mind what came on them. So that's why right here I've got 3.4s, 3.8s, we got the 1.0, 0.6, 0.25. Oh, look, and there we go. There's the literally labeled user manual / SD card. So I'll keep that around. Got a USB cable. Alright, so these are the filament spool rollers. So a couple of these in here. Set those aside. Lots of tools. Power cable, and this other random thing. I'm kind of wondering and guessing if this is for the optional laser engraver module. So I read that it came with its own separate power supply, which would kind of make sense. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's only half watt. So the question here is, do I read the manual first, or do I just start pulling stuff out? Probably, maybe, let's read the manual. Pop the SD card in. There we got that 4 gig volume. Alright, and here is the contents of the SD card. Let's see. So just to sort of recap what's in here because I'm noticing some things come up here. So mine I basically got with every single option except the 700 millimeter height extension, which was quite a lot more. I figured 500 millimeters, quite fine. That's like just shy of 20 inches. So I got the dual zone heating pad, which is insane and huge. The laser engraver, high temp extruder, and well, yeah, those are the main add-on options. So it looks like we've got. Let's see. Let's just poke around here a little bit and make these bigger. Let's see. Read before use. All right, fair enough. 3D printing. Assemble the structure, connect the wires, unified bed leveling, start printing, calibrate dual extruder, duplicate printing, mount high temp extruder, and replace the hot end. Cool. Alright, so then there's configuration profiles. Okay, cool. So we got instructions, Simplify 3D and Cura. I'm going to be using Simplify 3D. I admit I've never actually used it before, but I keep seeing everyone use it. It seems like it's some really good stuff. And then laser engraving, also very excited about that. Dragonfly. So I have heard that it's just custom software that runs this. I mean, granted, it is basically G-code, so I'm sure in theory I could get it to run from anything. But they do seem to just kind of have their own thing. Interesting. Some Python scripts, so I guess this Dragonfly. Unless I start doing something really crazy, I'll probably just use theirs. Except for not on this machine, because it's Windows. This is obviously for Windows. I'm on my Linux laptop right now, but I do have a Windows machine set up that I'm going to use for this for continuing usage. This is just while I'm getting it set up. So, read before use. Please ensure enough space for setting T-Rex 2 Plus and leave 200mm gap around. Okay, well, my disk is relatively big enough. For beginners, please print with single extruder first, unless you're advanced. I'm relatively advanced. I've been using these for a long time, but I'll still print with one first. Please close the heated bed with slicing. Cause T-Rex 2... I've noticed this a lot. They like to just use cuz instead of because. Sometimes COZ in all of their website, which is a little weird, but yeah, that's okay. T-Rex 2 has an independent heating pad. So the heater pad in this is connected just with its own controller. It's not G-code controlled. However, they just like 2 days ago released a upgrade that was relatively cheap, that includes a solid state relay and a hookup to the actual control board on this to allow you to control everything from G-code. So the independent part of this is not going to stay for long. Okay, well, I probably should get some laser glasses. This is interesting. The power of the laser is quite high. I mean, yes, kind of. I've been told it's a half watt. We'll see. Again, unfortunately, not a whole lot of info has been around online. Okay, don't print larger than 400 by 400 with a brim. High temp extruder for printing filament above. Please do not print ABS or PLA with it, otherwise it'll get clogged. If you need to pull out filament, please extrude it by, and then pull out. Okay, yeah, so pretty much standard usage here. Alright, 3D printing. Assemble the structure. Okay, so this is installed sort of, or it's in the box kind of a little bit backwards from what it's saying, but I'll pull all the bits out. Yep, I'm gonna have to pull all these out. Hopefully I'll have enough space, but we'll see what we can do here. So let's pull out. I'm gonna pull out this thing. Oh my goodness! Oh, so this has actually got the extruders already on it. Alright, now we can get to the rest of this. Okay, off goes the foam. Oh my god, more foam. Cool, so they provided a little bit of Kapton tape. I do have a big roll of it, but good to have. I can't imagine how many 400 by 400 millimeter print beds I'd actually get out of this. Probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not many, but hey, it's cool that they provided a little bit. Alright, so we got another box. Let's see what's in here before we get going too far. Alright, we got some good stuff. So we've got the left and right extruder cables. Interestingly, these are basically, if you can see that, 15 pin or DB 15 pins, so VGA cables. So you know, hey, if I ever break one of these, I guess I can just get another VGA cable. Sure, I mean, it's kind of weird that they use sort of a non-standard thing, but like the MakerBot, instead of having one cable like this, just has this like mass of cables and some cable loom, which is also kind of annoying. Alright. So now we've got, yeah, so here's the laser. Again, another thing I may upgrade, because you can get even more powerful ones online. So you've got the driver. This is just kind of a standard thing. These are all over AliExpress in this exact format. They've just got clearly a 3D printed bracket on the back of this. So get it out of the bag so you can actually see it. Yeah, it's just a little 3D printed bracket on the back of this to be able to connect it. So, you know, I'm sure I could modify that or take it off, put something more powerful on. Not that I ever really want to cut with this because I don't want to, you know, engrave it into the heated bed. I just want to give it a shot. Alright, so, okay, so the rest of this looks like the actual controller. Probably getting ahead of myself here a little bit, but, you know, why not? Alright. So we've got the T-Rex branded LCD screen controller for this. Okay, so there's the SD card reader on the back of it. Cool. And oh, it's wedged in here good. Gotta take the foam out. Alright. And the actual control box. So this obviously hooks up to, not sure what that hooks up to, probably something on the base here, plus we've got the right and left, again the DB15 outputs. Oh, interesting. So there's an SD card reader there, and there's an SD card reader on the screen. I wonder if you can use both. Whatever. Well, you know, find out. I'm probably gonna unscrew the top of this later, and we'll see what it looks like. All right. Alright, done with that box. Okay. Alright, so now it looks like, oh, I'm going to leave these on for now. Alright. Okay, so we're going to be able to get this out of here. Oh, hey, cool. Laser protective glasses. Now I don't need to buy them. They thought of everything. And we've got a roll of FormBot branded white PLA. Not bad. Hey, I'll take another roll. Add to my giant collection. Alright, so now we're going to see if we can pull the base out of this. Let's see if that extra little bits off. Get this a little bit snug in there. So this is the actual Kinovo or Kinovo, whatever it is, controller for the heated build plate. Completely separate. You just set it manually, but like I said, there's a, that's weird. This case is like rubber. Cool. Oh, there we go. It's sticking out a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be installing a mod on this that allows you to control that through G-code. Should be a little bit nicer. Alright, so we'll lift this out. Okay, that's not actually nearly as heavy as I thought it would be. Now the question is where to put it. Alright, put it down for now. Alright, that's it. We're done with that. This isn't so bad. Alright. There we go. So here we've got the build plate, which is also the y-axis on this. It's kind of a sort of rep wrap or Prusa style, unlike the MakerBot where the build plate's the up and down, the z-axis. Build plate on this is the y, and the gantry is the z and x. So, alright, so yeah, here we've got connector for that big sort of ID cable looking thing, and there's a laser output on that. So one thing that was a little bit weird was when I bought this through 3dprintersbay.com. When I emailed them, I asked them what kind of build plate it was, if I got the heated option, and they said it was borosilicate glass. This is obviously not. I did know that previous to opening it because, again, I asked on the FormBot Facebook group. So, you know, here we've got this, which is just aluminum. You know, it does obviously look like it's pretty darn flat. I mean, it looks nice. It's a little bit rough. I'm going to be putting, you know, obviously I'll use that Capson tape that came with it and put that on here, you know, or blue tape or whatever for a while. I will be in the near future upgrading this to something a little bit, you know, a little bit sturdier, or a little bit easier to use than just a straight. I've not known anyone to print to straight aluminum. All right, a little bit weird that this has got to move in and out with the cable. Oh, wow. Alright, so it says pull the bottom frame on a flat desk and pull the print bed to the forefront. Okay. So do that. Okay, so it says take out the M8 screws from, yep, so M8 screws from the accessory bag. Out. Alright, there we go. Wrench for the accessory bag. So assume, yep, that. Oh my goodness, don't run away. Put the XZ frame onto the bottom frame carefully. Alright, so it's showing it with the frame on. And make the Z-axis aluminum extrusion be against below 2 parts. So against these. So there's some holes down in here that I think that the screws are going to come up through. So it's going to be mildly interesting. So yep, so then we're going to tighten the XZ frame and bottom frame from the M8 screws through the bottom. Alright. Okay, so I think we can do that. So it didn't actually say anything about these two little lock nuts, but I'm going to assume that they're needed. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't show them. Nope, doesn't show them anywhere else. So I'm going to put these on. Okay. All right. I need a smaller table that's like narrower than this so I can get to the screws on both sides, but we'll see what happens. And I'm going to do this. Alright. So we can get that through. Yeah, it's close. Alright. Well, that would be why. Okay. Alright, so I got the cable out from under there. Okie dokie. Alright, so now I'm going to put the bolt up through the bottom. So now I'm going to put the bolt up through there. Tighten that in. So this needs to be one of those things where I do this once beforehand, and then okay, put that back now. So I do this once beforehand, and then take it all apart, put it back together, like I know what I'm doing the first time. But nope, you're gonna get to live through this with me as I figure it out. Alright, so the right hand side is, I think, pretty good. Yep. I'll bring this back to the left. Oh my god, this is heavy. Alright, I think we're pretty good. That's pretty tight. So, now, assemble the electrical box. Alright, we've got the electrical box. This over here. Alright, so I'm going to put this cable into the socket. Alright. Making sure that's good and tight. Alright, it says, meanwhile, please check the other end is inserted into the box. Well, yep, looks to be. The instructions are very nice, they keep saying please. Alright, what's next? Okay, so then we're going to tighten the box onto the aluminum extrusion. So I think at this point I'm actually going to have to undo the saran wrap carefully. Now we got the extruders. Sweet. Take the foam out. Interesting, they've got these little brass brushes down here. Let's clean off any excess filament. It's kind of a cool idea, especially for the whole independent dual extruder thing. Definitely curious, however, why there's two other connections. I know, I'm totally getting ahead of myself. Let's see. Yeah, there's two other connections here. I guess those are probably, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know why these are different than one another. Like, see, this got the two extra connections. That one's got nothing on the back. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know why the difference on there. Maybe that's... Huh. Oh, those go... Oh, that's why. Okay, those are for... Yeah, I'll get to that later. Those are for the touch sensor that's used for automatically leveling this. The auto trimming. Cool. All right. Focus. Down here. All right. So now we've got both of those. So now we can take this. Sweet, that's on there. Alright, so this is on. I think it's on pretty good. So now we need to assemble the LCD screen. Alright, so we've got that. So here's the LCD. So there we go. Cool. So now we need to the two flat cables into sockets at the back of the screen, gray one into XP1 and black one into XP2, and then tighten the screen onto the frame by thumb screw. Keep a safe distance between X-axis motor and screen. I guess that would be this. Okay, this goes onto the front down here, which, okay, that makes sense. I'm actually kind of glad that this is sort of separate because, although I'm not really sure where I can put it, this is going to go in a closet, at least I hope. I don't know if this will fit. It's probably going to have to go in sideways and there might not be enough room, so being able to relocate this is pretty good. So, we've got, let's see, gray into XP1. So we've got, let's see, that's weird. There, so down, so gray goes there, and black there. Alright, so now we've got that connected. Let's see, gray on XP1, black on XP2. Should be fine. So then that's going to connect to the front down here. This may be temporary, but for now, that's what we'll go with. little bit of slack in these, but that's okay. I'll clean them up later. Some cable ties. Let's see. Keep safe distance between the X-axis motor and Y screen. I guess that's this here. Alright, so assemble the filament spool holder. I'm just going to do one of these for now, but you know, hey. Got the spool holders. Like I said, I'm just going to do one of these for now. Basically just because I don't really need to do all of them at the moment. Alright, so these, this is kind of interesting, they just sort of go right up top on here. So no, it's not super clear in the instructions from what you're going to see like on these pictures, but note that there's the wire on this right hand side, which if you look down on here, this is actually on the left hand side. So these are actually mounted on the back. I don't know if that necessarily matters, but I did notice someone on the Facebook group stating that someone had the extruders on back, or the these things on backwards, so I'm just going to go for that. Alright. I've got the second one on here. Again, this will need to be kind of adjusted depending upon... Honestly, I don't know why this couldn't go on the front. I think they'd be easier to adjust. I will probably also have a different setup in the future. Alright, so those are good. Some nice little bearings on there. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to need to measure the distance between the bottom frame and the print bed as shown below. Okay. Then adjust the height of the print bed by either nuts to ensure the distance between them be 45 millimeters everywhere. I was told on the Facebook group to read everything twice, so I am. Measure the distance between the bottom frame and print bed. Okay, so the bottom of this frame and the print bed, gotcha. And adjust the height of the print bed by nether nuts. Sorry, I'm challenged. I don't know what nether nuts means. I'm assuming they mean the little these things down here. Get the print bed going. We'll see. I'm not really sure. Okay, so what's interesting here is this thing, measure the distance between the bottom frame. So they're actually talking about, let's see, I should probably zoom this out. Alright, so this should be a little bit of a better view. So what I got confused by was saying between the bed and the bottom of the frame. I was thinking the bottom of this frame right here. It's actually talking about this bottom portion. So what we actually want is 75 millimeters between, or sorry, not 75, 45 millimeters between those. See, it shows these, you know, shows the ruler, and it looks like it's measuring between the bottom x-axis and the bed, but in reality it's measuring between the frame. They should have shown that in the front. Okay, so that's there. So, all right. So now we want. I would say that's pretty well 45. All right, 45. And 45. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. They all seem pretty consistent. that took way too long. I was being extra careful. Alright, so now, nether nuts. So now, I'm going to measure the distance between the x-axis. So we're going to measure between the x-axis here and the print bed, which should be 45 as well. No, wait, no. Measure the distance between the x-axis and the print bed. Adjust the x-axis height by rotating the ball screw so as to ensure the x-axis be parallel to the print bed. So honestly, this doesn't care where we are with it, just that it's the same. Alright, so right now I've got that at just about 75 millimeters. Both sides. This one's a little bit high. So I'm going to try to bring this down. Nope, wrong way. Alright. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Just so I can take the trial and error out of this. So what I'm doing here is, instead of trying to measure it and eyeball it, I've just taken my measuring tape, which I know is 3 inches, and just sticking it under there. So far it seems like you kind of have to go back and forth between these a few times, and oh my god, look at that, look at all the grease that gets on there. You have to go back and forth between these a few times because as you adjust one, it kind of ends up adjusting the other, which is a little annoying, but you know, hey, we'll get there. So yeah, that fits through nice. That fits through, I'd say about the same. I mean, if I have to come back and do this again, I'll do it, but for now, right now I'm going to change this glove. So, we've got that leveled on there. That's the end of this document. Now I think it's on to hooking up the wires. So we'll go back to that SD card. Connect the wires. Hey, look at that. Alright, so we've got connect the X1 motor and limit switch wires. Left one is 3-pin terminal for the X1 limit switch. Alright, so we're going to pick this up again. So we gotta get to this. Alright. Shoot. Alright, so the connections are actually under here, which is mildly annoying that they told me to put it on already, but you know, hey, we'll go with that. So, alright, so we've got a 3-pin connector on the left-hand side and a 4-pin on the right. The right is a 4-pin for the X1 motor. Alright, so we're going to take these and connect them in. Alright, so as you can see, these are coming from the X gantry. So this is actually for, not the extruders, but the gantry itself. Definitely going to have to figure out some sort of clips for keeping these cables in line. Alright, so now we've got the Z motor. Okay, 4 cables at the back of the printer. The 6-pin cable are for 2 Z motors separately. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we've got 2 on each of these ball screws. Alright, so I'm going to bring this plate up. Alright, Alright, so you can see there's separate 6 pins. Okay, so these are in here. Got this. This isn't tremendously annoying for those of us who have large fingers or anything. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got that connected in there. So we've got that connector. So now we're going to do the same with this one on this side. At least it's a little bit less cramped. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Oh. Crap. Alright, this might be interesting. So it would seem that unfortunately, when I put the Z gantry on, I pinned 2 of the cables down in here, which is why this one wasn't connecting. It's not the right, this one here wasn't connecting. It's not, you know, the right cable. So I'm gonna have to get these out somehow, hopefully without breaking them. Aha! Yes! Success! There's that go. Like that. Success! Sweet. We got the 3 cables out. Well, these 3 cables. So, I was trying to plug this one into the 6-pin, which obviously wasn't working because I'm an idiot. So, yeah, let's see what we can do there. So, now we are back to plugging these cables in. Alright. Boom. Alright. Okay, so we've got that 6-pin cable in, that 6-pin, and now we need to connect the 3 and 4-pin cables for the X2 motor and limit switch separately. Alright, so we've got these. Yep, totally going to figure out some sort of cable management because I can totally see these snagging on something and just popping right off. So now I've got these in there. Cool, so that should go on this. Insert the cable of the LED light. So one of the cool things on this, you can see up here, is there is an LED light up here which will illuminate my print. So I've got to connect that somehow. Let's see. Alright, so this. Alright, so here's the cable for the light. That's going to plug in right down there. Nice little 2-pin. Looks like there's some other connectors in there. I can maybe use for other stuff. And I'm pretty sure that that light is controllable through G-code. There's some scripts I've seen. Alright, so now we've got to connect the DB cables to the extruders. So those are over here. We've got the extruder cables. Let's see, the short one is the left extruder and the long one is the right extruder. That would, you know, make sense. Since the The box is on the left-hand side and all that. Alright. So short one is for the left extruder, long one is for the right. So we've got, okay, so short. Okay, so insert the short one into the L socket on the electrical box, lead it to the left extruder from the middle. Oh, interesting. So it's got you putting it up around the spool holders. So maybe I'm supposed to put the spool holder on. Lead it to the left extruder from the middle of the left two spool holders. Alright, so we're going to screw this on here. Use the screwdriver. Came with it. Alright, so that, yep, that connects into there. Don't want these coming out. Alright, so this is supposed to come up through here, go on, and then connect to the extruder. Alrighty. So now, because I got ahead of myself and I said I'm not going to install but one of those, I didn't realize that, as you can see here, this actually holds up the cable and kind of keeps it out of the way, which is kind of cool, but I didn't put the other spool holder on. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the other one of these. Alright, so now we're going to get the longer of the cables. Now we're going to go back. Now we're going to install, you can see with this, we did the short one for the left hand side, we're going to do the right hand one. So, interestingly enough, I got ahead of myself. As you can see here, I kind of did it wrong. It wanted to actually go over the top of the thing. So since I was dumb and I led this around the back and through here, so the instructions show to put it over the top and down around the front. I guess that is kind of more, you know, that's a little bit better. It's a little neater. That's why it said middle. Alright, around the front, down here. That's interesting. Be careful when you do this. Apparently you can pull the board out. Oops. Alright. So we will screw this on. It's got these little kind of interesting boards that break out the DB15 cable to all of the different components, and I'm, in all seriousness, thinking about seeing if I can model that up in KiCad so that I could possibly create my own version. So now we're going to run this second cable, as you can see. Now we're going to go through here. Oops. That. Through these and over the top, back down to the extruders. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can maybe model that up in KiCad, kind of make my own, because there's a couple of mods online I've found for doing secondary fans. This has only got one fan that's both for extruder and extruder and part cooling. So it's kind of a little bit of a weird setup, and I found some mods for doing just a two separate fans, one that's on the extruder that runs all the time, and one for part cooling that is G-code controlled. Alright, so those are connected. These are in the right place. Okay. Tighten the screws of the DD cables by screwdriver to avoid loose contact during that. Alright, yeah. So we tighten those. Alright. That's all the wires. Sweet. So I'm going to turn this around and just to ease my mind, I want to check again that the level of the x-axis to the bed is okay. Alright. Alrighty. Now, I'd say that the x-axis has come down a little bit, but it's basically the same. Alright. So now we will look at unified bed leveling. So T-Rex 2 adopts latest unified bed leveling, much more precise than ordinary mesh leveling. Honestly, I've never had auto leveling, so I don't know the difference between the two. It probes 225 points on the print bed, collect the data, and store them in EEPROM. The whole process takes 20 minutes! Oh, wow. Only need to execute it once before first printing. So, yeah, that. Alright, so let's see, we're going to go to Prepare, and then Auto Home. Now you can see the Z-axis coordinate. Please remember the value as Z1. Okay, so this is saying 6.2. Okay. I'm not really sure what that means. Then choose Prepare, move axis, move Z, and then move to 0.1 millimeters. Put an A4 paper between the knobs on the bed, rotate the knob anti-clockwise to move down the Z-axis until it can only pass through one paper. Okay, so this is basically sort of your standard old style leveling. And then now you can see the current Z-axis coordinate. Remember that value is Z2. Finally calculate the Z. Oh, great. Okay, finally calculate the Z-offset by formula. 5 is a safety value for Z-axis lift up, so here Z-offset should be, okay. Then choose Control, Motion, Z-offset, set the Z-offset as the value calculated by the formula. Save it. Save the Z-offset to the control, store memory. If it's saved successfully, you'll hear a beep sound. After restart printer, the Z-offset will still be the one you set. Then choose Move, Axis, Move Z, move 1 millimeter, and lift the Z-axis 5 millimeters around by rotate the knob clockwise. Okay, so there's a knob on the front of this. So I probably should just start, plugging this in and go through it. Alright, so later on it says insert the SD card to the electrical box. So I'm going to go and I'm going to copy everything off of here. So I've got it when I need it. So we're going to go to... Alright, copy everything off. Cool. I'm going to go back and we're going to open that up. Alright, so we're going to go back to the bed leveling. So, I guess that didn't tell me specifically to do so. I'm going to need to plug this in. Alright. So we're going to plug this in. Turn it on. Hey, look at that. Wow, that is loud. Like, really, really loud. Alright, I'm glad this is going to be stuck in a closet. Jeez, these fans over here blow so much. Kind of wish that was a little bit more, you know, on demand, but hey. Alright, unfortunately I apologize for the flicker on this thing, but I'm going to have to kind of go with it. Alright, so it says the T-Rex2 is ready. It's saying XYZ doesn't know. So we're going to go to prepare, I think it says, and then auto home. Alright, so we got the X1 and X2. Okay, so we did auto home. Now we can see the z-axis coordinates. So we got x at 211, y at 171, and z at what it at least thinks is 6.5 millimeters. So we are going to need a piece of paper. I will be right back. Alright, so we've got paper. So, as you can see, Z1 is 6.5 according to it. Now, prepare. Let's see, move axis. Move Z. And move 0.1 millimeter. Alright. I'm going to take a piece of paper. Stick it. Okay. I'm going to put a piece of paper and put it between the knobs on the bed, rotate the knob anti-clockwise to move the z-axis until it can only pass through one paper. Oops. Apparently I waited too long. Move axis, move Z, move 1 millimeter. Alright, so you can see it's coming down. It's getting close. Yep, okay, so 0.6 definitely seems to be too much. Alright. Alright, 0.6 it is. So we're going to say that Z2 is equal to, great, 0, sorry, not 0.6, 0.7. This 0.6 was a little bit too much. And then we can calculate the Z-offset with the formula. So we're going to say Z-offset is equal to negative 6.5 minus 5 minus 0.7. Saying 5 is a safety value for the z-axis lift up. I don't know what that means, but it's okay. So we're going to say this is 6.5 minus 5, so 1.5 minus 0.7 is going to be 1, or not 1, 0.8. so equals negative 0.8. So you can see here, now we've got the Z-axis offset, which is 6.5 minus. Well, I'm not going to move this. Okay, cut that out. So we got 0.8. Okay, so then we're going to go to this, go to Control, Motion, Z-offset. We're going to bring this up to, wow, it's tiny. Negative point, oh, nope. Really? I hate it when these things are a little too sensitive. Couldn't get it right on 0.8. Alright, well we'll do negative 0.79 for now. I don't know why it's not wanting to accept that 0.8. That's what we're going to say. Okay. So now, yeah, we see that. Everything's good. Save the Z offset. So we're going back to Control. And we're going to say Store Memory. Okay, cool. Beeped. Let's try to do that again. Okay. So it beeped. You'll hear a beep sound. Alright, so then we'll choose Move Axis. Okay. Yep, okay, so then we're going to choose Control, Motion, nope. There, Move Axis. We're going to do Move Z, move by 1, and we're going to bring this up 5 millimeters. Alright. So, unified bed leveling. So we're going to insert the SD card into the electrical box. I still would love to know why it doesn't work on the screen, but you know, whatever. So we put that in the box. So we're going to choose UBL from the SD card, then execute unified bed leveling automatically. The whole process takes around 20 minutes, and there will be a beep sound to indicate leveling finished, and one more beep sound to indicate data saved successfully. Finally, save the UBL data into EEPROM. Choose Control, Store Memory. Now you can print formally. Now you can print formally. Congratulations. All right, so we're going to go to print from SD card, and we've got that. So we've got UBL. All right, so I'm going to choose, and now UBL. See what happens. Well, seems to be done, I guess. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go to the next part, which is, okay, GCBL, I'm going to say store memory. Alright. So that's done. Now we can print. Okay. Hey, you made it to the end. Hopefully you have yours assembled now too. And as you can see, it is printing. So there will be more thoughts and prints and mods and all of that stuff. I promise I'm going to be using this thing like crazy. Definitely as a reminder, check out the Facebook FormBot user group. They're wonderful. Links in the description. If you want to see any of the other stuff that I'm going to be doing with this, be sure to subscribe and we'll have more on that later. But for now, thank you for watching. Bye.